good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. My name is Mutalathevoice, and welcome to the live session today. Today we are going to talk about my experience in Uganda, and one thing that I can promise you, man, it is something else. So, okay, we start this journey. You know, um, I can say like this. Sometimes you can have fast judgment or judge a country or people depending with your first experience, of which may not be good. Sometimes it can be bad, or sometimes it can be good. You know, last year I was in Uganda. I had a totally different experience as compared to this year, just a few weeks ago when or while I was in Uganda, man. So I'll start with this. Last year I was going actually to Rwanda, so I passed by, via Uganda, and my experience was so pathetic with the immigration. It wasn't good. But this year, man, I can tell you, man, my experience in Uganda was fantastic. Okay, let me begin with my journey from Nairobi, Kenya to Uganda. So I went straight when I left Nairobi here, CBD, Nairobi, Kenya, the capital of Africa. I went straight to Jinja, Uganda, and I can tell you the experience was amazing. So let me give you the highlights where I visited, first of all, and then from there, now we start the story from the beginning. So I went to Jinja. I went, to the Jinja Bridge. I went to, the source of River Nile. Amazing. Go watch that video, man. I went also fishing at night at River Nile. Late at night, it was dark. And, we were fishing with boats at night, man. The fingerlings in Kenya, they call them omena or daga. Man, the experience was something else. Also went to Kampala, Uganda, of which I visited the Kampala Parliament, the Ugandan Parliament in Kampala CBD. Amazing. I went to the Buganda Kingdom, the famous Buganda Kingdom, where we learned about the Kabaka. People from East African communities know this story. The Kabaka, Mtesa 1, Mtesa 2, Kabaka Chua, Kabaka Luanga or Mwanga. Yeah, we learned Kabaka Mutebi, who is the current Kabaka. Kabaka actually means the king. We were in that kingdom. Even I bought an artifact from that kingdom, man, from the guides and also the people who do art in that amazing kingdom. So that was the experience, man. I also went to the Idi Amin torture chambers, man. I know you guys have watched stories or heard about Idi Amin, the Ugandan dictator. So I was where he used to torture people, the torture chambers. Even I had, you know, but personally, that's personally. I had a lot of questions. There were some still blank spaces there that were not answered. Some questions did not add up, but it was that, armory where Idi Amin used to torture people in Uganda, man. It was spooky. Actually, when you are right there, you can actually feel like how those people are feeling, man, entering that dungeon, entering into that you know Idi Amin torture chambers in Uganda. Actually, you could feel the horrors and how people actually felt there. Man, go back and watch that story. Go back and watch that story. You're missing a lot, man. You are missing a lot if you have not watched those stories, man. Amazing. And I also experienced this in Uganda. I went to a shop, a grocery shop actually, and bought alcohol. Man, that was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy. For sure, for sure. With me on my side as a Kenyan, we are not used to that kind of culture. That was so new, man. We're not used to that. As a Kenyan, I've never bought actually alcohol at a grocery store. That was crazy. To me, that was crazy, man. I don't get it, man. I don't get it up to now, man. It's still in my head wondering, was it actually true that I bought alcohol in Uganda in a grocery shop? Or is it normal in your country? Maybe if you're watching, tell me if you're watching these, tell me the country that you're watching this from, and tell me if it is normal in your country for people to buy alcohol in a shop where you can buy grocery, or you can buy, for example, sugar or soft drinks or something like that. Because to us in Kenya, is either you buy alcohol in we call them um, spirit shop or alcohol shop, or maybe a pub, or maybe a club, something like that, or a bar. But in a grocery shop, there is something else. That is something else. That is something else, man. I've never really experienced that. So now, I also visited, this tribe that eats humans. Can you believe that? Maybe I'm not making sense. Like, they eat human flesh. Like, they slaughter a human being, you are cooked, and your flesh is eaten. That's what I mean. Go watch that story, man. Go watch that story. Scroll in my stories, you're going to find that story. Man, Uganda has got stories and a half. Stories beyond stories. Man. I know it's crazy. I know it's crazy. I know it's crazy, but it is true. So I also experienced the food. We did the street food culture in Uganda. Man, these people have got diverse food and rich food culture. That one I can assure you for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Uganda, man. Beautiful Uganda, the pearl of Africa. Amazing, amazing, and amazing people. So let's go back to Nairobi CBD. Then we start with our journey from Nairobi, Kenya to Uganda, Jinja, Uganda to Kampala, Uganda. So it goes like this. So um, I call Unishon. Unishon is actually a YouTuber, a friend of mine, and we arrange and we say we're going to visit Uganda. But in last minute, Unishon has got other commitments. He's unable to go to Uganda. I say it's okay, man, but I was disappointed because we had planned to do a lot of things together with Unishon. So okay, I tell Eunice it's all right. You do your stuff. I know maybe something an emergency. You're not able to join me in this journey to Uganda. But maybe next time we'll be doing a vlog. We did a vlog even recently at the BBS, which is the biggest mall in Africa, located in Kenya, Nairobi, a place called Eastleigh. So I tell Eunice, it's all right. We are supposed to book Tahmid buses going to Uganda. So I say, okay, I delayed because I was waiting for Eunice, Sean actually, to get ready because she actually told me also she had lost her identification card, so it was hard for her to travel with that, without an ID, even a passport. I think she had misplaced. So okay, so I wait for Eunice, Sean. I wait for Eunice, Sean. Then I decided maybe let me just go and book, the bus. So um because I had not booked a mid bus, the moment when I realized I'm not going to Uganda with you and Sean. So what I do, I call Tahmid. They tell me, man, there's no space right now, so I had to change the bus. So I called Easy Coach. Easy Coach is actually a bus, also goes to the western part of the country. So I book Easy Coach to Busia. So we leave Nairobi, Kenya for Uganda, for Busia. That is around 9 p.m. So I arrived next day at Busia border, but this time my experience at Busia border immigration, both for Kenyan and Ugandan side, was amazing, amazing. It wasn't crazy like last time. Last time I had a very hectic moment at the immigration. I even felt very angry, actually. But this time it was easy peasy like lemon squeezy. Man, so good luck. I have got this. I had a good luck because crossing like this, I just booked Easy Coach. That is from Kenya, Nairobi to Busia, Kenya side. So I crossed manually to, to Ugandan side. But reaching at the border, I was lucky enough. I got modern course bus. So the modern course guys told me, we have space here, so you can book, man. So it was easy. It was like $6 to from Busia border to Jinja. I was going to Jinja actually, where I was supposed to meet my cousin who actually works in Jinja, Uganda. So, it was easy peasy, man. I do the exchange there. I did for around $300, of which it can convert to around 1 million Ugandan shillings, just roughly around there. So, okay. So I know Jinja, Uganda, but I've never been to Jinja town. So let me tell you what happened. So I tell the modern coast guy, this modern coast is actually a bus that traverses like all East African countries. If you go to Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, you go to Burundi, this bus is actually traverses all those countries. Actually, if you want to move from for East African countries, man, you can use modern coast. I've used that bus before. It's an amazing bus. So I tell this guy, the conductor, the guy who's actually like the operator of the bus, when we arrive in Jinja, tell me, because I'm not conversant with Jinja, because I understand you guys are going straight to Kampala. So when we arrive at Jinja, tell me. So the guy says, okay. So I'm seated like this, man. Uh, I saw Ginger Bridge, but I've told the conductor or the bus operator that when we arrive at Ginger, you let me know in advance so that I can alight. The guy was a Kenyan person, says it's all right. Okay, I saw the Ginger Bridge, and we crossed the Ginger Bridge. So on my assumption, I know when we arrive at Ginger, he will let me know because I've already told you because I'm not very conversant with Ginger Town in Uganda. Man, the guy had forgotten, man. The guy had forgotten that I told him that I'm supposed to alight at Ginger border, Ginger town. Ginger is actually a city, Ginger city, in Uganda. So the bus, we go the bus. Hey, man, little did I know we have already passed Ginger town, man. Hey, man, I start seeing villages. I'm saying, man, we have just entered. We entered, Ginger Bridge. How possible is it that we are now entering villages? I see villages. I see, I see banana plantations. I see. No, man. I say this is not Ginger, man. So I go ask that guy, where are we, man? I told you I'm supposed to light at Ginger. Man, the guy was in shock. Say, man, bro, I forgot. Man, I forgot. Actually, I forgot, man, that you're supposed to alight at Ginger. We have already passed Ginger, or we are already past Ginger. Actually, I was very disappointed and furious at some point. But this guy apologized. That's the good thing about apologizing. When you apologize, you're sorry. You know, I get calm because I understand everybody can make a mistake. The guy was actually good for the modern cause. Actually, apologized. Say it's okay. I understand people forget, and that's it. So I lighted that place. I've forgotten that name. But if you watched my video, from Nairobi, Kenya to Uganda, Jinja, you could actually see that place where I lighted from the modern coast. I've forgotten the name. I've forgotten the name. If you're Ugandan, go watch that video and tell me what was the exact name of that place. So I pick uh, a public means. That is a Ugandan. It is a Nissan. It is a van actually from that place to Jinja, Uganda. So it was close to roughly how much was it? But it was less than $1 from that place to Jinja, Uganda. So I go to Jinja, Uganda. I call my cousin. My cousin was actually very worried, man, because he was the one picking me. He lives in Jinja. So he was the one picking me from that place now to take me to my hotel place. So, okay, I explained to him, we passed, or maybe I did not alight at the right place because, the operator forgot. So we meet, we board the motorbikes. In Uganda, they call them border border. Even in Kenya, even if you go to, most some East African countries, they call, the motorcycle operators. This moving you from one point for another for a given fee. We normally call them border border, but they're actually the motorcycle operators, all in public means of transport. So they pick me to the hotel place, and same day now. um, we go to, um, the source. Not really. We did not go to the source of River Nile at that time. So the same day, um, we have, just a tour of Ginger Town. So we begin with Ginger Town. Man, it was amazing. Ginger actually looks like Kisumu, Kenya. For people of even the weather, it's like Kisumu, even the proximity to 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 river, to Lake Victoria. Namlolwe. Lake Victoria is called Namlolwe, the regional name of, or Lolwe, the regional name of Lake Victoria before it was, given that name, given the name of the, the UK Queen Victoria. But the name for Lake Victoria, the actual African name, is called Lolwe or Namlolwe. At least you know that. I've taught you something. So we go around, man. I tell you, Jinja is a vibe. Jinja city in Uganda, actually, it is a vibe and it is amazing city, man. I love the city. We go explore the food, Ugandan food. We are just eating from outside, man. Amazing, amazing, beautiful. We have a first meal there in Uganda. I ate matoke. In Uganda, they don't give you like in Kenya. So if you ask Kenyan, this is food. Rice and beans is just rice and beans. When you ask for ugali and maybe beef, they give you ugali and beef like that. But in Uganda, they give you some matoke, a little bit of ugali, some potatoes, beef, some vegetables, and they have these, like you have. It's like a buffet, man. I've just asked for a simple meal, man. They give you an extensive experience of food, man. Uganda people, man, amazing, amazing. So we enjoy our meal there, and my cousins take beer, so they had their beer, and beer in Uganda is actually very cheap, very cheap. It is less than $1 actually. Beer in Uganda is less than $1, like 50 cents, close to that. So our total bill was actually close to for that meal because I was with my two cousins, so we were three. So the total bill was actually around $10. Amazing. That was around 30,000, you 30 something thousand, 33,000 or 34,000 Ugandan money. So after that, we go to the market, man, explore, man. And something very interesting, they sell something, there is a drug called Kuber. That was my first time actually seeing people selling drug in the open air like crazy. Kuber is a drug. I was surprised that it was being this drug that they put here uh, below your lip, and it makes you high. That was my first experience. I have never seen a country where Kuber is sold like just like that. That was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy, man. To me, man, that was crazy. So after that, um, we go, um, and just round Ginger Town, exploring the beauty of Ginger Town, and that was until Sunday, until evening. So that evening, what you do that evening, actually, we went straight to, my cousin actually has practice fisheries. So we go to his farm, we go to Lake Victoria, not Lake Victoria, River Nile, where we fished at night, where we were doing fishing at night, late at night, at River Nile, the longest river in the world. Man, that was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy. Fishing, man, those people, when you see someone says that he is a fisherman or he does fishing, respect that person. They actually put a lot of effort to ensure they fish those, the fish bring to you to the market or those fingerlings. They actually do a lot of job, a lot of work. Go watch my videos so that you can get an experience on what those guys go through to ensure they bring uh, fish on your table. A lot of work. So we do that till late at night, then we close the day. Next morning, next morning, we wake up, man, you know, at this bridge. River Nile has got these three bridges: a bridge for for the pedestrians, a bridge was it for the pedestrians actually, or for the motorcycle, or for the vehicles where people, the pedestrians, walk, a bridge for the railway line, and the main one where these big vehicles pass, the famous Jinja Bridge. So we pass through one of the bridges, we go and straight to the source of River Nile. Man, those turbulence, the waves, man. I remember we were there, man. I thought we were going to capsize. Go watch that experience. The boat was shaking, man, like crazy. I was like, oh man, was is this the end of me, man? The experience. This River Nile, we're talking about the longest river in the world. You experiencing the turbulence. And just immediately after that, you know, we go to Lake Victoria. Again, the biggest lake in Africa, Lake Victoria. So the longest river in the world coming from the biggest lake in Africa. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? So that was the experience, man. So we went where the source of River Nile is, and I bought, something, a jewelry of which I gave to Jonas Sean, the lady who disappointed me. But I saw some comments in the comments section. Other people assuming that actually Eunice Shawn was my girlfriend. No, 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 no. Eunice Shawn was actually my former colleague, and we have had this vibe, just people that uh, you are good. Like, let's say we are friends, we have this vibe, like we are easy peasy for each one, and we have known each other for quite some time, so we are very close with you and Sean. But she is not my girlfriend, for those who are assuming and telling me in the comment section that is she my girlfriend. No, 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 she's not my girlfriend. So we have got that mutual respect, we do things together, and you know just good vibes, beautiful lady, amazing. So you can shoot your shot if you were watching the videos and assuming actually that Eunice Shawn was my girlfriend. No, no, no. She isn't my girlfriend. So after that, River Nile, same day, we bought we bought a vehicle straight to Kampala, Uganda. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful city, man. Beautiful city. So you can actually I've shown for those people who ask me why is beer in Uganda so cheap. I actually actually in that video I've shown you where those cheap beers of Uganda, actually the factory where they're the factory for that beer plant or beer plant in Uganda. I've shown you, man, the Nile. It's called something the Nile. And after that, I show you Kakira. Kakira is actually a plantation and actually a sugar factory, very, very famous in Uganda. Then straight, we go to Kampala, Uganda. So in Kampala, Uganda, we go to the Kampala Theatre, actually amazing. We go to the, Kampala or Ugandan Parliament, of which the police this time was so receptive. I had an amazing time experience with the police in Uganda this time around, man. They allowed us to take even pictures in Ugandan parliament. Then straight from there, we go to the Idi Amin torture chambers. I know you guys, you have watched, um, you know, videos about Iddi Amin, the Ugandan dictator. He was a former president of Uganda. We were in that armory where people were tortured, and 25,000 people died in that armory, man. So go watch, man. It was actually very spooky. Man, you can imagine that many people died at that place. I was entering like this. Man, the experience. Oh, God, have mercy. Have mercy on those people, man. So after that, also we went to the Buganda kingdom, the palace. I visited the Buganda kingdom palace, man. The palace, actually, the Kabaka, where the Kabaka lives there. The Kabaka is actually king, meaning the king of Baganda people of Uganda. I was there, man. I was shown the Rolls Royce for the king. I was shown actually the rich history. I was shown actually how the culture of the Buganda kingdom. It was amazing, amazing, amazing. And after that, man, we passed. It was you guys, man. If you've not watched that video, you're missing a lot. That one I can assure you, you're actually missing a lot. I'm missing a lot, man. So after that, we went to, it was getting late. We went straight to the bus station. We boarded the vehicle back to Jinja because my cousin actually stays in Jinja. So we went to Jinja. And even before we went to sleep, we went straight to experience the Ugandan street food. Man, these guys have got rich food culture, street foods. We sampled them. They were amazing, and people were enjoying the foods there, the street foods, taking alcohol just outside. You can never imagine this. Go watch those videos, man. Go watch those videos in Uganda. Actually, guys, I can tell you, you're going to enjoy my videos in Uganda. You can't make this up. The experience in Uganda was that something else, something else, something else. Guys, so after that, I said bye to my cousin because I was traveling the next day. I was going back to Kenya, but I had to pass through my grandma's place in Kenya side. So actually, for guys watching this, I was born in a border between Kenya and I was raised. Let me say that I was raised in a border between Kenya and Uganda, a place called Luhaha, small border town. So next day, I wake up, man. I'd used all my Ugandan money, so I had to go to the bureau, exchange some little money. I exchanged around $10, of which it was enough fare for me to go from Jinja, Uganda to Mbale, then from Mbale to where? To Lohaha border, a border between Kenya and Uganda. So, so I boarded my vehicle that morning straight to, you know, Mbale, Uganda. Then Mbale, Uganda actually looks like Arusha, Tanzania, because it has some, close that vibe. Even when you see Mount Meru in Tanzania, you can also see Mount Elgon in Uganda. But Mount Elgon borders Kenya and Uganda. Imagine. But okay, guys, even before that, that is out of topic. I want to know, actually, Mount Kilimanjaro is the tallest mountain in Africa, and it is in a border between it borders Kenya and Tanzania. But I don't understand why the all recognition has been given to Tanzania. Why is it not say like Mount Kilimanjaro is actually Kenyan side and Tanzanian side? I need to understand. Just like Mount Elgon, you've got a Mount Elgon Kenyan side and Tanzanian side. I need to understand. I've never really understand. I'm jealous, a little bit jealous or envious. We need to be given some credit, like Kenyans, like we own some part of Kilimanjaro. Or what do you think? Tell me in the comment section. I need to know what you think. What you think. So I went straight to my grandma's place now, Luhaha border, where I also my good part of my childhood. I grew up there. Amazing place. So go guys see my if you guys want to see where I grew up or where I was raised, go watch my village, man. Amazing, beautiful place, man. Then the next day after I arrived, I went and did a story about the human cannibals of Uganda. Can you imagine? People who eat people and how people view polygamy in Uganda. So that story, I did it in Ugandan side. So I crossed the border back again to Uganda. Can you imagine that? So that's the vibe that we have. Man, the experience in Uganda was something else. And the story people were sharing, man, how they used to cut people's hand, the dead people's hand to make liquor in Uganda. That culture was strange. Was strange actually. Man, the beauty of my experience. And also did a story about this guy who claims to be Jesus called Yeso Tongaren. Now that is the Kenyan side at a place called Tongaren. So guys, go watch those amazing stories in Uganda. I had a beautiful experience in Uganda. And I say thank you so much for the experience and for the love that you guys have shown me, man, and how we have grown together, man. Please click that subscribe button and let's grow together as we move to the next country. I promise you, we are going to the next country, man. We are going to the next country. We are going to the next country. My name is Mutalathevoice. Have a good time.